محمد وعلي محمد صلوات. We are going to commence our program with the recitation of the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala within the Quran, Surah 47, verse 24 says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ أَقْفَالِهَا. That do you not contemplate over the verses of the Holy Quran? Nay, on their hearts there are locks. Therefore, let us unlock our hearts towards the recitation of the Holy Quran by none other than Syed Naqvi. I'd like to welcome him for the recitation of Surah Al-Yasin, but we welcome him with the salawat. You know, Syed Hassan would always say that when you recite the salawat, recite it with enthusiasm, with zeal. Therefore, I request you all to recite the salawat, but the salawat with enthusiasm and zeal and passion. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم كل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أأتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون ليدخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد لا يأتيهم رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كما أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم فلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسطناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا نعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم هم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له إليه ترجعون صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Thank you very much, Syed, for that wonderful recitation. Hassan, Jazakallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. 7 months and 2 days ago, we lost a dear friend, a beacon of hope, a sibling, a father, Syed Hassan Naqvi. Now, in the caption, the word used is marhum, but for some reason, I just don't like using this word. Why? So there's a quote from an African revolutionary called Thomas Sankara. He says, when revolutionaries pass away, when revolutionaries depart from this world, their bodies leave the world, but their ideas remain. Therefore, maybe we won't see Sayyid Hassan smile, we won't be able to see his physical presence, but his ideas, his initiatives will always remain. And there's a famous and profound quote from Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Again, the salawat isn't that good, and in honor of Sayyid Hassan, we need a louder salawat because he loved loud salawats. Therefore, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And Imam Ali says, live amongst people in a way that when you depart from this world, they pray for your company. They remember you. They remember your jovial nature, your amicable nature. And Sayyid Hassan's life embodies this thing. And he was a wonderful personality. You could always see him smile, always happy, and very accommodating. Whether you are a youth, an older person, an aged person, and you required assistance, you wanted to ask him something, he was a man that you could approach. And one of the projects very close to Sayyid's heart was the Quran Drive. And he created this feeling of love for the Holy Quran within the community. Many youths, despite having school, university, they would participate in this competition. And this competition and this Quran Drive was an initiative driven by Sayyid Hassan Naqvi. And I remember that whenever we had these Ma'rifah sessions, we would contemplate and reflect over the verses of the Holy Quran, we'd have great scholars like Sheikh Noor, Sheikh Ali Dina, and other scholars as well, with Sayyid Hassan there. Now, personally, as a participant, when I see Sheikh Noor or Sheikh Ali Dina, I would feel a little nervous. But then I see Sayyid Hassan smiling, and he was happy. So that would give me motivation. Like, these two are there to question me, and Sayyid is there to calm me. So instead of looking at the other two scholars, I'd rather look at Sayyid Hassan's calming face and his smile. So we remember Sayyid Hassan for many things that he did. Let us recite a Surah Al-Fatiha for Sayyid Hassan, rahimahullah wa kana al-Fatiha. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome the dignitaries as well. And all of you who are present here, I welcome you all to this program, and a special shout out to all those who attended from the Iranian embassy and various community leaders who I see present here. And for all of you who have attended, please recite a salawat for yourself. Salu ala nabi. And I recall the day of Syed Hassan's burial where Maulana Akbar beautifully narrated the love of Abu Abdullah that Syed Hassan had. Syed Hassan, whenever a marthia was recited, a nawha was recited, he would keenly listen, he would fervently listen to the recitation. And he would also urge others to listen as well. And you know, there's something that when there are people present and they motivate you to listen to a recitation, that was Syed Hassan with his Nar Haidari, or for example, in the Matam, he would tell others to participate in the Nawha. And Mulana Akbar beautifully recited Sayyid Hassan's trait of motivating others to participate in these gatherings and these events. And therefore, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Mulana Akbar's son, Muhammad Ali Moshi, Mullah Muhammad Ali Moshi, to recite a marthia, a prominent reciter within our community, and is recognized across the globe for his illustrious recitation. Therefore, I invite you all to recite a loud salawat, welcoming Brother Moshi on stage. Salu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. लेकर सरे हुसैन को दामन में कहती थी क्या भूल गए अपनी सकीना को बाबा चेहरा मेरा जख्मी हुआ पर तू नहीं आए क्या भूल गए अपनी सकीना को बाबा जो चोट मुझे लगती तो तू रहता मैं दर्द से रोती तो ये बर्दाश्त न होता अब किस तरह से पाते हो बाबा मेरा क्या भूल गए अपनी सकीना को बाबा झलती हुई रेती पे चलाया गया मुझको चलते हुए नाके से चलते हुए नाके से गिराया गया मुझको अरे दादी अरे दादी की तरह मेरा भी पहलू है शिकता अरे क्या भूल गए अपनी
आया हजारों बीवी ज़ैनब की मसाइल आपके सामने पेश करता हूँ। पत्थर हटा के लाश से ज़ैनब ने दी सदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन। पत्थर हटा के लाश से ज़ैनब ने दी सदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन। वो मंजर को महसूस करना। पत्थर हटा के लाश से ज़ैनब ने दी सदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन। कैसे पड़े जिस्म के टुकड़े जुदा जुदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन हो। है मेरे गरीब का क्या हाल कर दिया, घोड़ों से लाश में पामाल कर दिया, पहचानू किस तरह से बदन बदन से है सर जुदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन हो। पत्थर हटा के लाश से ज़ैनब ने दी सदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन। ये जुमला जो है क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन बहुत बड़ा लफ्ज़ है। क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन। पहचानना तुम्हारे लिए भी कठिन हुआ, पहचानना तुम्हारे लिए भी कठिन हुआ, देखा है पहली बार जो ज़ैनब को बेरिदा, आती है शर्म जल्द, बता दो मुझे जरा, क्या 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 तुम मेरे हुसैन हो। आहिस्ता से जवाब दो, है साथ उसकी माँ। आहिस्ता से जवाब दो, है साथ उसकी माँ। यकीनन भी फातिमा ज़हरा बोला इमाम हसन के साथ जरूर आए होंगे। आहिस्ता से जवाब दो, आहिस्ता से जवाब दो। क्यों मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, क्योंकि हसन अंकल एक अब्दुल्ला के जाकिर थे, एक मोहब्बत करने वाले थे। मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि भी फातिमा ज़हरा जरूर आएगी। जिस दिन हमने दफन किया था हसन अंकल को, उस दिन जरूर मौला अली भी आए होंगे, फातिमा ज़हरा भी जरूर आए होंगी। आहिस्ता से जवाब दो, है साथ उसकी माँ, क्या अब तुम्हारे पास है मासूम बेज़बान, नन्हा सा लाश किसे कहे सीने सीने पे रखा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन हो। पत्थर हटा के लाश से ज़ैनब ने दी सदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन, कैसे पड़े जिस्म के टुकड़े जुदा जुदा, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन हो। पत्थर हटा के लाश पे ज़ैनब ने दी सलाम, क्या तुम मेरे हुसैन। अल्फाज़
Thank you very much, Mullah Mush, for that wonderful rendition. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There's a live feed going on pertaining to this program, and I'd just like to read a few of the comments that are there. Uh, One individual writes, our remembrance of marhum Syed Hassan hasn't stopped and will forever remain in our hearts and the hearts of the marhumeen. And another individual writes, marhum will always be in our dua. We'll really miss his infectious smile and care if and when I go to Karbala. May Allah elevate his status amongst our Ahlul Bayt. Ameen. And there are many other comments as well. Extensive comments here have been written pertaining to his contagious smile. Therefore, we remember his smile. We can see the poster as well having his smile. It's as though he is present amongst us, but maybe we are not able to see his physical body, but spiritually he is with us. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Tonight is Thursday night, and there is no greater deed or act than the remembrance of our great and blessed Imam Hussein. Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. And growing up, I would always look forward to listening to Sayyid Muhammad Naqvi's Majlis. And not only me, my mother, my father, I guess our community members as well, everyone told me that when they were growing up as well, Sayyid Muhammad Naqvi's lectures were always considered iconic. And alhamdulillah, with YouTube, we can always access his lectures in Majlis. And this is the great benefit of technological advancement. So let us welcome Sayyid Muhammad Naqvi for the recitation of a Majlis. And before he comes on stage, I'd like to request you all to recite a nice, loud salawat, but with passion, with love. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You know, that salawat was good, but we want the salawat to be even better, inshallah. So one more time, please, I urge you all to recite a salawat with your loudest voices. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين خالق الخلائق أجمعين، والحمد لله الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب تشد النجوى تبارك وتعالى، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبو القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد، السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Sometimes we try to make sense of things that are happening in the world. We become oblivious of what is happening around us until it hits us, when we begin to reflect, ask questions, and try to make sense of them. The loss of a dear one brings to us a moment of reflection, to think about the purpose of creation, to think about why death. What is it, and how do we make sense of this? Why is there so much pain in separation? What is the divine wisdom in this? Why is there suffering? And what is the divine wisdom in this suffering? What is the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in doing so? How can we make sense of all this? It gives us every death, whether it is a death of a child, or a death of an old man, or a scholar, or anyone for that matter. It gives us the opportunity to begin reflecting about what is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has desired and has willed for you and I. And therefore, I want to bring a few points of reflection before us for our own learning. When we look at Quran and we study this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, something that my dear brother Syed Hassan was passionate about. When we study this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, the Khaliq, the Malik, the one who has created this universe, has created this in the most beautiful, perfect, and precise manner. When he talks about the heavens, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran, he tells us in Quran, وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِزِينَةٍ الْكَوَاكِبِ. We have beautified the heavens with the beauty of the stars. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ بِزِينَةٍ الْكَوَاكِبِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we have created this heaven that you see before you. And when you look at these stars, we want to show you within these stars that we have beautified them with the stars for you to see. وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحَ. Allah says, we have beautified the heavens, the skies, with the beauty of the lamp. Allah says. Then he speaks about the precision of the creation of this universe. the perfection of the creation of this universe. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the sophistication of the solar system and astronomy in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍّ لَهَا ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. The sun is moving towards its resting place, and that is what it was destined to do. Allah says, وَالْقَمَرَ قَدَّرْنَاهُ مَنَازِلَ حَتَّى عَادَ كَالْعُرْجُونِ الْقَدِيمِ. The moon that you see, we have created it in phases until it returns back to the shape of the branch of a dry palm tree. حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم. لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار. The sun is not allowed to overtake the moon, nor is the night allowed to outstrip the day. وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلْكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. Everything is moving in exactly the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seeing it. So look at the perfection that Allah speaks about. Look at what He says about how He created the trees. Look at how He created the universe. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only creates it, but celebrates the creation of everything that He has created. Yet, Allah then announces the destruction of the solar system. Not only that He has created it, but now He is also making an announcement that He is going to destroy it. So you ask yourself a question. My Lord, what is the wisdom? You have created this, you have celebrated its creation, you have spoken to us about this universe, and now you are announcing the destruction of this universe. Why did you create it in the first place if you wanted to destroy it? It gives us a point of reflection when we begin to reflect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this universe, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the destruction of this universe, the collapse of the solar system. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ. When the sun is covered, وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ كَدَرَتْ. And when the stars are darkened, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In another verse, Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ. When the heaven is, or when the heaven becomes cleft asunder, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ. إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ. وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ. And when the stars become dispersed, Allah says, He's talking about the collapse of the solar system. إِذَا وَقَعَتِ الْوَاقِعَةُ. When the great event takes place, لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاذِبَةٌ. There is no denying that that event is going to happen. خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. Some will be amazed, some will be raised. إِذَا رُجَّتِ الْأَرْضُ رَجًّا. When the earth will bring a violent shaking. وَبُسَّتِ الْجِبَالُ بَسًّا. When the mountains will come crumbling down. فَكَانَتْ هَبَاءً مُنْبَثًّا. These mountains will become like dust scattered everywhere. Allah is speaking about the destruction. My Lord, if you wanted to destroy it, what was the wisdom in creating it in the first place? When it comes to human beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the creation of the human being. And you know how He talks about the creation of the human being? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ. We created man from the essence of the soul. ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُطْفَةً فِي قَرَارٍ مَكِينٍ. Then we caused him to become a sperm. Then we caused the sperm to rest in a firm place. ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَا النُّطْفَةَ عَلَقَةً. Then we caused the sperm to become a clot of blood. فَخَلَقْنَا الْعَلَقَةَ مُضْغَةً. We caused this clot of blood to become a lump of flesh. فَخَلَقْنَا الْمُضْغَةَ عِظَامًا. Within the lump of flesh, we created bones. فَكَسَوْنَا العظام لحما. We then clothe the bones with flesh. ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر. Then we gave him another parallel existence. فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين. Glory be to Allah, the best of the creators. He congratulates himself after creating the human being. How sophisticated this is. How the journey of man begins from this dust. And how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala transforms it into this human being. And then he celebrates it. And he says, Fatabarakallahu ahsanul khaliqeen. Glory be to Allah, the best of the creators. Immediately after this verse, the next verse is, ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ لَمَيِّتُونَ. But after this you shall die. My Lord, my Creator. In a most sophisticated manner, the entire study of embryology in Quran. And then he says, ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ لَمَيِّتُونَ. Immediately after that, Allah says, after this, after all this creation, after the way I have brought you from this dust and the essence of this dust, you shall die. Then you ask the question, my Lord, if you really wanted him to die, why did you create him in the first place? What is the wisdom? How can I make sense of this wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And so when it comes to the human being, Allah, or anything for that matter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes a clear announcement, categoric in Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatun. Every soul shall taste that. Kullu man 'alayha. Everything on this earth shall perish. There is only one thing worth remaining, وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ. Other than the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, other than the Lord and the glory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing will remain. So what is the wisdom in this? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the destruction of the solar system, he stops there. He doesn't go any further. But when it comes to the death of a human being, the one who has been created in a more sophisticated manner, Allah uses a different language. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhal insan, O man, innaka, you, innaka kadihun ila rabbika kadhan famulaq. You are laboriously traveling towards your Lord. You are laboriously journeying towards your Lord. Thou shall meet him. So when it comes to man, Allah is using a different language. Everything will be destroyed, but man, there is no destruction for you. You are in a continuous journey. The Prophet Islam says, مَا خُلِقْتُمْ لِلْفَنَاءِ بَلْ خُلِقْتُمْ لِلْبَقَاءِ. You were never created to perish and end. You were created to live. So when it comes to man, there is this sense of fear of death within us. And it is the idea of meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are all journeying towards. Allah asks the question, how do you disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When you were dead, فَأَحْيَاكُمْ, and then He is the one who caused you to live and gave you life. فَأَحْيَاكُمْ ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ, then He's going to cause you to die. ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ, then He's going to cause you to raise and live again. ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ, and then thou shalt return back to Allah subhanahu. إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. We belong to Allah. We return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a poet in Urdu who says a beautiful couplet. He says, "Kaun kehta hai कि मौत आई तो मर जाऊं." Who says that when death comes to me, that I shall die? कौन कहता है कि मौत आई तो मर जाऊं? मैं तो दरिया हूँ, समंदर में उतर जाऊंगा. I am a river dying to meet the ocean. I have been separated from the ocean. I'm dying to meet those who don't get कि मौका ही तो मर जाऊं. मैं तो दरिया हूँ, समंदर में उतर जाऊंगा. अखबार में खबर मेरे मरने की छप गई. The poet says the news of my death was announced everywhere, every WhatsApp, every social media, every Jamaat notice board, everywhere. The poet says, अखबार में खबर मेरे मरने की छप गई. मैं चीखता रहा कि मैं जिंदा हूँ. Yet I kept screaming that I'm alive. Please don't call me dead. And therefore, this journey, as far as man is concerned, is of utmost importance to understand. People disappear from our eyes, but they are journeying towards their Lord. The time with us was a little time. The purpose of this creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the death is for you and I, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. For him to see which one amongst you is best in deeds. Rumi, in one of his beautiful poems, talks about death in these words. He says, when I die, and when my coffin is being taken out, you must never think I am missing this world. Don't shed any tears. Don't lament or feel sorry. I am not falling into a monstrous abyss. Rumi says, when you see my corpse being carried, don't say goodbye. Remember, the grave is only a curtain for the paradise behind. Then he says, when you leave me, he says, you'll see me descending into a grave. He says, when you see my corpse being carried, don't cry for me leaving. I am not leaving. I'm arriving at eternal love. I'm not leaving. I'm arriving at eternal love. You will only see me descend into the grave. Now, watch me rise. How can there be an end when the sun sets or the moon goes down? It looks like the end. It seems like a sunset, but in reality, when the grave locks you up, that is when your soul is free. When we begin to reflect about this, when we begin to realize that we're journeying towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it makes it easier for us to be able to take solace in the fact that our return is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that within His wisdom and the divine wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the idea of death is not the end, but the idea of death is the next phase of the human's journey to finally arrive at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so when we lose our parents, our brothers, our friends, our sisters, when we lose them, it is extremely painful. Every family, every individual sitting in this gathering has experienced it. There is none who has not experienced it. It's extremely painful. But that pain is meant to be there. It is the least the disease deserves from us for the impact that he or she had. My fellow brothers and sisters, it is of utmost importance to realize the importance of this separation in our lives. Every one of us is going to die. There is none that is going to survive. A poet says, "Jo zinda hai, wo maut ki takleef sahenge." Those who are alive will most certainly face the pangs of death. Jo zinda hai, wo maut ki takleef sahenge. Jab Ahmad Mursal na rahe, kaun hai? If the Holy Prophet himself did not live forever eternally, who is going to live forever? And so, my fellow brothers and sisters, we are all going to die. It is only a matter of time. The next grave could be mine. Time is of utmost importance. Yes, we are journeying towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, everything is destroyed but man. Yes, everything is gone but man. But at the same time, this man is journeying towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so it is of utmost importance for us to realize that the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is the greatest gift that you and I can have. There is nobody who knows when they are going to die. Each one of us is going to depart from this world. When? We don't. And so whatever time is that, we may think it is a long time. We may think it's not me. We may think we are healthy. We may think we are eating the best of the foods. We may think we are eating every possible vitamin that is available on this planet. But at the end of everything, there is something known as death that is waiting. No matter what your physique looks like, no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, there is no escape from death. وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُ يُدْرِكْكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. No matter where you are, it will reach you. وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. No matter where you are, even if you are in the strongest of the boards, death is going to get you. Time is of utmost importance. This time that Allah has given me is the greatest gift. It is a poem I want to share with you. Please bear with me, but I think there's a huge amount of wisdom. We are in a state of oblivion. This world mesmerizes us. There is no escape from the beauty of this world. It mesmerizes us every single time. Every single moment, we are attracted to it. We run towards it. And so we want to amass, we want to achieve, we want to get whatever we want in whatever little time we have. There is a poet by the name who has given himself a name of Qamar, Jalalabadi. He says, and there are 2 or 3 points in there which I'm reluctant to recite, so I will not recite those 2 or 3 points, not for a gathering of this nature. But I will give the gist of what he says. He says, as far as this world is concerned, he's asking himself a question. Karlunga Jama Dawlat. I will amass wealth and everything else. Karlunga Jama Dawlat. Uske baad kya? I will accumulate everything, but what after that? What next will I do? Le lunga shandar se ghar. Uske baad kya? I will buy a huge mansion with my desires. But what next? He says, if I desire alcohol, I'm not reciting at this point. I'm just giving you the gist of what he says. He says, this world, because alcohol attracts me towards alcohol. Oh, let me just recite it with my apologies to I'm glad some of you don't understand Urdu. He says, "Main ki talab jo hogi, to ban jaunga mein ring." If I desire alcohol, I will become an alcoholic. Kar lunga main kadon ka safar. Uske baad kya? I will go to the pubs and I will drink alcohol. But what next? And then he says, if I am attracted to beauty, I will visit all the beauties that are there in the world. I will find every possible beauty, husn, He says, होगा जो शौक हुस्न, होगा जो शौक हुस्न से राज़ो नियाज़ का, खंदर गिस्मों में सहर, उसके बाद क्या? I will spend the time with them, but what next? शेर और सुतन की खूब बिछाऊंगा मैं फिरें. I will try every possible thing to become famous in this world. Everything that makes me I, that makes me me, that makes me I will do everything. दुनिया में होगा नाम, मगर उसके बाद I will get a name, I will become a celebrity. But what next? And then he says, एक रोज मौत जीस्त का दर खटखटाए. One day, after all that, death will knock at the door of life. एक रोज मौत जीस्त का दर खटखटाएगी, बुझ जाएगा चराग कमर, उसके बाद क्या? My life will be extinguished. And then what? Observe the next point. He says, उठी थी खाक, खाक से मिल जाएगी वही. The dust that created me will become dust in its own grave. उठी थी खाक, खाक से मिल जाएगी वही. फिर उसके बाद किसको खबर, उसके बाद क्या? Then who knows what next? Time that Allah has given us is short. We may think it is long. I remember I used to have hair. Wallah, I had hair like you. Myself, I had hair. When it disappeared, I didn't realize. When the teeth started falling, I didn't realize. When my children grew up, I didn't realize. They just popped up. By the time I looked at the mirror again, I had white beard, one. When I looked at it the second time, I had two. When I looked at it after a little while, everything has gone white. I don't even recognize myself. When I ask myself what has happened, it says to me, time has taken. Time has taken everything from you. You have only a little time. All of us have a little time. What do we do in the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us? My fellow brothers, let me end with this. 100 years from today, 100 years from today, 2121. All of us in this home will not be here. Just 100 years from today. In fact, we will be forgotten, never to be remembered again. How many times, with your hands on your hearts, how many times do you remember your great-grandfather? In a day, in a week, in a month, in a year. How many times do you remember your great-grandmother? How many times does your great-great-grandmother cross your mind? How many times? And when you become great, do you expect somebody to remember you? Nothing. My son, I inshallah hope he will remember me. My marhum brother's children will remember him. And his grandchildren who have seen him will remember him. But then to expect his great-great-grandchildren to remember him the way I remember him is not realistic. The only thing that will remain alive is not the individual and the memories of this individual, or any individual for that matter. The only thing that will remain alive is the amal and the a'mal and the work that you have done. 100 years from today, in our graves, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, he goes to returning from the Battle of Siffin, he passes by a graveyard, he looks at the graveyard, he speaks to the people of the grave. He tells the people of the grave, do you know I have news for you? What is the news? The news is that you know the houses that you used to own, then now we know occupied by others. You know the cars, this is now paraphrasing here. I'm just paraphrasing. You know the cars that you used to drive, they are now being driven by someone else. You know those spouses who you used to love so much, now they have moved on in their lives. Do you know the wealth that you left behind is now being used by others? And then he says, this is the news for the people of the grave I have brought for you. Do you have any news? Then he turned towards his companions and said, if these people were allowed to speak, they would have responded by saying, the only thing that is beneficial here is God consciousness. My son, my great-grandchild is not going to think of me. I don't think so. I don't think of my great-grandfather, for example. Some of us don't even remember the names of our great-grandfather or great-grandmother. What will assist me in there is going to be the a'mal that I have performed. If I have built a well, if I have created an orphanage, if I have put a smile in someone's face, if I have acted in a charitable way in my life, if I have made partners some poor people in my wealth, if I have done something that is a continuous state of Thawab al-Jariyah, 100 years, 2021, in my grave, they will be looking at me, not my great-great-grandchildren. They won't even remember. The wealth has gone for them. Therefore, the journey is to Allah. But the journey requires for you and I to give. In this way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala requires for us to prepare for this journey, to go towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a state where I can meet Him confidently and say, my Lord, I performed what you wanted me to perform. Not embarrassingly when I face my Lord, my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are those who look forward to death. There are those who are scared of death. Those who are scared of death is because of their amal. Those who look forward to death are because they are looking forward to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we look at the youths of Karbala, you ask them a question. Qasim, the son of Imam Hassan, Qasim, what do you think of death? How do you perceive death? What do you think death is like? You know what he says in response? Wallahi sayyidi ahla min al-asr. By God, my master, I find death sweeter than life. Ali ibn al-Akbar is asked the same question. What will be the state? When the death encounters you, what will be your state of death? The state of your mind when the death encounters you? He says, are we not on the truth? He says, of course we are. He says, then what difference does it make if we fall upon death or death? These are those who are looking forward to meet the Lord because they were confident about their actions and the time that they spend on prayer. Imam Hussein played two roles in Karbala. One of the roles that Imam Hussein played was the role of an ordinary human being. A man, a human, a father, an uncle, a brother, a friend. He played the role of a human being. And then he played another role of divine leadership. When he played the role of a human being, he ran towards Qasim when Qasim fell from the horse. As an uncle, Imam al-Hussein sat by Qasim's trampled body and he cried as an uncle, not as a divine leader. He cried as an uncle. And he said to Qasim, my Qasim, there is one thing that hurts me most. You kept calling me and your uncle was unable to reach you. As an uncle, he cried. As a human being, he cried. When Ali al-Akbar fell from the horse, Allahu Akbar. You know, in Karbala there were many shuhada. But every shaheed, when they fell, they called the Holy Imam Hussein, Ya Aba Abdullah Adrikni, Ya Aba Abdullah Adrikni. But when it comes to Ali al-Akbar, the historians say he was the only one who did not say Adrikni. He just said, Alayka salam, Ya Abba. Father, my big farewell to you. Why? Because perhaps he did not want his father to see the state of his body. Imam Hussein alayhi salam went to the body of Ali al-Akbar. He went there. You know what historians say? They say, he fell on Ali al-Akbar. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he fell on Ali al-Akbar and he said, my children, after you, this world means nothing to say. That was a father crying over the body of an 18-year-old son in Karbala. He says, my son, this world means nothing to me after you. As a father, he cried. He's playing the role of a human being. When Abbas fell from the horse, Imam Hussein reaches the body of Abbas. He has this desire, intense desire in him. He wants Abbas to call him brother and not master. He says to his brother Abbas, Abbas, please call me brother once, just once. You always call me as a master. Please call me brother once. He's a human being who wants to be called a brother. He says, Abbas, please call me brother once. When Abbas breathed his last, Imam Hussein as a brother sitting there, said to his brother Abbas, he says to him, he says, brother, your loss has broken the back of Hussein. Brother, your loss has broken the back of Hussein. He is a human being. Praise to all of him. As a brother, he cried. As an uncle, he cried. As a father, he cried. But when it came to show the divine role of divinity that was given to him, when he came to show that role, mine and your Imam Hussein takes Ali al-Asghar in his hands and then goes behind the tents with Rabab, and then he digs the grave of Ali al-Asghar, and then he places Asghar inside the grave, and then he covers the grave, and then he stands up, he removes dust from his abah, and then he looks towards the heavens and says, my Lord, if there was more than this that you had asked, Hussein would have presented this to you. I have offered my children so I can see. Allahu Akbar. This is Imam Hussein. One's playing the role of a human being, at the same time playing the role of the divine leader. This is the final bit that hurts very much the heart, and the historians read about it, and the historians write about it. Imam Hussein when Ali al-Akbar was also brought back to the tent, and Qasim was brought back to the tent as an uncle, as a father. He sat between the two bodies of Ali Akbar and Qasim. He placed one hand on the chest of Qasim. He placed another hand on the palm of the chest of Ali Akbar. He then looked towards the heavens and said, my Lord, Hussein has lost all his children, but my desire to meet you.
إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون إلى يحفظ الزهراء وأبيها وبعليها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. تابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك رافع الدرجات إنك غافر الخطيئات إنك على كل شيء قدير. Majlis.
أين الحسين أي جون زهرا مظلوم حسين أين الحسين أي جون زهرا مظلوم حسين أين सब मिलके नाम बोला أين الحسين أي جون زهرا مظلوم حسين है लाल मेरे बताऊं कहाँ जन्नत से आई हूँ सुन लो पुकार कहरा थी करबल में लोहा गुना शिद्दत से करती थी हमको बया माँ को दिखा दे तू चेहरा हुसैन ऐ जोने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जोने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जोने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन है सोचा न था ऐसा होगा कभी बेमत करे जाए ज़ैनब मेरी किस जुर्म की ये सजा मिल गई कैदी बने आज बिनते अली दुश्मन न समझेगा रुतबा हुसैन ऐ जोने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जोने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन है तेरा गला बोसा गाहे नबी जिस पर था शमशीर शिमरे शफी तेरी बहन देखती रह गई सर पीटते वो ये कहने लगी दुनिया न भूलेगी सजदा हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन है कासिम नहीं मेरा अकबर नहीं ओनो मोहम्मद वो असगर नहीं लाशें बिखरी मगर सर नहीं सर पर सकीना के चादर नहीं लुट गया तेरा कुनबा हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन है करबल में है माँ के नाले हुसैन आगोश मत के पाने हुसैन रब की रिज़ा पाने वाले हुसैन ऐ मुतमइन्नत वाले हुसैन कितना है मोहकम ये रिश्ता हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐ ज़हरा भी करबल में गश खा गई जब लाश अकबर नजर आ गई फरियाद ज़हरा बुलंद हो गई सर पीट कर वो ये कहने लगी ओ तस्लियत माँ के तशना हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन है सीने पे सोने की आदि थी वो अब खाक पे कैसे सोएगी वो शामे गरीबों से गायब थी वो ये कह के मकतल को जाती थी वो बिस्तर है काबा का सीना हुसैन ऐ जोने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जोने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना महरमों का वो बाजार है ये मेरी ज़ैनब वो अग़यार है तो के गिगा से बीमार है किस इम्तिहान में ये अतहार है माँ तेरी देती है पहरा हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन ऐना ऐना ऐनल हुसैन ऐ जाने ज़हरा मज़लूम हुसैन मौला हर बार बुला ले मौला अपना बना दे या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना दे या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना दे या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना दे सुबह मसा मेरी जुबां पर ये दुआ है बोल हमारे लिए जिस दर में शिफा है घर पे तेरे चाहने वालों की सदा है मेरा मसीहा है जहां मौला रज़ा है मौला हर बार बुला ले मौला अपना बना ले या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना दे या मौला अय्याम मोहर्रम में मौला ज़व्वार बना दे लुट गया परदेस में ज़हरा का परा गए तेग तले सिपहा हुए सिपते पैगंबर लुट गया परदेस में ज़हरा का परा गए तेग तले सिपहा हुए सिपते पैगंबर दाग यहीं दिल में लिए आए हैं अक्सर किरिया कुना गम है तेरे रोज़े पे आकर मौला हर बार बुला दे मौला अपना बना दे या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना दे या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना चांद मुहर्रम का नजर आते ही मौला तूने किया हजरत शब्बीर पे गिरिया आए हैं देने के लिए आपको पुरसा लुट गया परदेस में है कुनबे ज़हरा मौला हर बार बुला दे मौला अपना बना दे मौला ज़व्वार बना दे या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना दे या मौला मौला ज़व्वार बना दे मौला हर बार बुला दे मौला अपना बना दे मौला ज़व्वार बना दे
Thank you very much, Brother Zakir, for that wonderful recitation. Thank you very much. I request you all to take your seat, please. We only have a few things left on the agenda. I also did not thank Syed Muhammad for his wonderful address. Thank you very much for that monumental talk. And one thing that we may note from Syed Hassan's life, the word difference. The word difference. You see the word difference there. There's a quote from Michelle Obama where she says, success isn't measured by how much wealth you possess or how much money you have, but by the amount of difference you make in the lives of others. Therefore, even in this quote, we read, Together we are strong. Together we are powerful. Together we will make a difference. Not only will we make a difference, but there is a chance, there is a potential that we may see the difference. We may see the results of the impact we have in the lives of others. I'd now like to take this opportunity to welcome Syed Ali Naqvi to give his remarks. Let us welcome him with a salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My respected ulama kiram, respected guests, friends of the family, and Syed Hassan. This is the toughest, the most difficult speech that I've been asked to deliver on behalf of the family. But it is a duty that I must perform. I must clear my emotions. I must express my feelings. As the pandemic for the past so many months killed our brothers and sisters around the world, human beings like me and you began to reflect. We began to think. We began to look at the pain that we were suffering. We began to reflect on the difficulties we were having. We began to reflect on the loss of a loved one. We also began to think of humanity. We also saw heroes in the community. We also saw humanity taking birth once again. We also saw that it changed the mindset of people wherever they were. And here is where I would like to take this opportunity of saying that our community to which we belong, we may be Syed Ali Naqvi or Syed Muhammad Naqvi, but we gave birth in this community. We were born in this community. We know no other community but this community. And therefore, we believe that this is our. It is a unique community which stood shoulder to shoulder with us. We were inundated with messages of condolences and love and care. So many messages, and I today wish to take this opportunity of asking for forgiveness from those who we did not respond to. Not because we didn't want to, but because we could not. The messages of love and care we receive from the brotherhood, the genuine respect that my dear brothers and sisters had from the World Federation, the Africa Federation, the Dar es Salaam stands witness to the great work that my late mother did. Do you know, I, for one, in the family, didn't know how much he works. I didn't know how much he cares. I didn't know how much time he is putting into the service of us. I only found out when he left me. It was a tough realization. Sometimes, yes, I used to have an odd word with my brother. Sometimes I used to tell him, why are you working so hard when sometimes you're not even appreciated by the same people you work for? And he said, power comes into, I remember. One is what I call the false power. And one is what I call the true power. The false power, he says, is the power of wealth, status, whatever your status may be, whatever institution is at your fingers. Doesn't matter. That's a false power. It will disappear. And the true power, he said to me, was only productivity, creativity, consistency, service to mankind, and passion for what you do. That's the lesson. And for our family, it has been the most difficult separation we have ever experienced. I wish to take this opportunity of thanking the Dar es Salaam Jamaat who stood with us during our most difficult time. The heroes of the Ghusl and Kafan committee, to which me and my brother would like to kiss their hands for having done what we were supposed to do when he passes. They took our place. They bathed our brother. They shrouded my brother, and they took him to his final resting place. I wish to take this opportunity, the Muslim and the Kafan committee, of saying to you that you may be doing just another job, but you have made an impact into the hearts of our family that will never be forgotten. One of the person I would most definitely mention here is Muhammad Raza Dewji. I knew that Muhammad Raza Dewji, who is now the president of your Jamaat, may Allah bless him and give him the courage to serve the community. Well, we knew that he was a very good friend of our Syed. But I didn't know one thing which he told me, which touched me, and tears flowed from my eyes. He said to me and my brother over the phone, he said, you people have seen your brother whenever he came to London, or whenever he came here, or when you came here to Dar es Salaam is the time when we met each other. 6 months, maybe a year, maybe more. But to me, the pain is intense. Why? Because every week, 3 times a week, I used to sit with Syed Hassan and have dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever it may be. We took people to Ziyarah together. We did work together. And it touched my heart. When we were planning this memorial Majlis for our brother, we consulted with Muhammad Raza Dewji, and we said, we want to do this program. And we want to do it in a private event, a private place, because we are aware that me and my brother are traveling. We can be some carrying some nasty things. And immediately he said to me, my house is your house. Mama Bai, from the bottom of the family of the Naqvis, and myself and my brother, you have fulfilled the duty of being a good friend to my brother. A friend who stands with a friend is a true friend. A friend, when he's in need of a true friend, is a friend. And may Allah bless you and your family for having stood by us during the darkest moment of our lives. For my family, it is time to move on, as my brother said in his eloquent speech and lecture. It is time to move on. But such a loss has got a wave of emotions coming and going. There is no easy way out. Yes, Maulanas will come and tell us, our respected scholars will come and tell us, connect yourself to Allah, look forward to death. But in the reality, Maulana Hassan, please forgive me, people don't do that. We don't look forward to death. We are scared to death. There are a few individuals yesterday who will look forward to death. I, for one, Maulana, am not looking forward to death. When my time comes, Allah will take me. See you on the other side. My dear respected friends of Syed Hassan, I visited the team of Afghan who Syed Hassan worked with, stars of the community who are not recognized for some heights. These are the people of the community who work day in, day out. And I used to tell Syed Hassan, your team is a good team. He used to tell me, these are the stars of the community which nobody knows about. And I told him, I said, Baijan, please listen to this. It is not necessary for anyone to be known and then make a difference. It is not necessary that someone is known and he will also make a difference. And it is also not necessary that the one who is not known will not make a difference. These individuals in Afghan are making the difference Africa-wide. And in a circumstance that my brother departed, he left suddenly. I don't think he had the opportunity of looking into your eyes and saying to you, my dear friends, you people mean a lot to me. My dear colleagues, I wish to thank you for having worked with me. And therefore, I take this opportunity to seek permission from my elder brother and to say that on behalf of my father, a friend, a confidant, a leader, a servant, a guide, an inspiration, and my true brother, thank you for being a part of his life. Thank you, Maulana Ahmad, for being there. I called him on the day he passed away on the 12th of February. I called him after the procedure was over, the process was over. And it was 10 o'clock in Tanzania. And I called him and I said, Maulana, please do me a favor. Can you please go one more time to the grave of my brother? I just want to speak to Abbas. And he went. And he sat there. And we recited Fateha together. And I asked him, what next? And he said, for the next 10 days, I promise you, I will come here, I will not leave him alone for the next 10 days so that you can get some peace in your heart. My dear brothers and sisters, the doctors in the hospital who took care of my brother, our heads off to you. The care that you showed to my brother during his final hours, may Allah bless you for that. May Allah bless you all for being part of the family of the numbers. And finally, there is one theory I have of my brother. I'm not sure I will have to discuss this with my family when I go back. I reflected and I thought, why is it that my brother Syed Hassan chose to live here in Dar es Salaam, leaving his family behind in the United Kingdom? Why? And probably the answers I got were mixed. One of the answers I got, maybe I can understand clearly later on. Maybe the answer I got was that there was a lot of opportunity to serve here in Africa. There was a lot of work that he could do here in Africa. And I also believe that it was my brother's sacrifice that he chose to be away from his family, live amongst these wonderful people that are here today, and do whatever he could in the service of mankind and the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, for the very last time, all of you here who are the friends of our family, respected ulama, dignitaries, the doctors team, the Usul Kafan team, the Dar es Salaam team, the World Federation dignitaries, the Africa Federation, and all the federations of the federations. My brother was working with all of them, and he was apolitical. If I may explain, he knew how to deal with politics, but never showed that he dealt with politics. He was apolitical. May Allah bless him for being there. And for the last time, my father is buried where my brother is buried. The three of us used to visit our father's grave when we were together. We used to sit there and we used to argue as to who will be next and where we will be there. And I used to say, here is my final resting place. My dear brothers, the day I pass and you people are alive, will you be here? And Hassan used to say the same thing. We say the same thing. I'm not sure if Muhammad Bhai will still be the president when I pass away, or if I do, please give me the space so I can meet my family and my brother. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Syed, for that heartwarming address. And on behalf of the entire community, I pass on our deepest condolences to you and to the entire Naqvi family. There's a quote from Gandhi where he says, the best way to recognize yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And there's no doubt, without a question, that Syed was always willing to serve, and he recognized that my purpose in life is to serve not only the Hoja community, but mankind at large as well. Next up, and we're almost coming to the end of our program. Next up, we have an address from Brother Ali Dewji. I'd like to welcome Brother Ali Dewji. Can we welcome him with the salawats?
Assalamu alaikum. It's obviously a tribute to Hassan that I'm standing here before you today after eloquent speakers like Syed and Naqvi, Abu Naqvi, and Ijaz. They're all very well known and excellent speakers, and then you have me coming up as well. But I think this is what Hassan would have wanted, giving the youth an opportunity alongside such renowned speakers. Today is a hard one for us all. It's so much easier to mourn in silence. It takes away from the worry of not being able to get your words out, or even simply just getting the right words out. That's why I decided to resort to reading a speech. It would be too difficult for me to narrate to you all the emotions and memories that us as a family and us as marhumeen had with Syed Hassan. But silence or not, one thing I'm sure we all appreciate today is being here all together, sharing in each other's silence, sharing in each other's moments of thought. Syed Hassan, who we all cherish. I've written the same here. As a father, as a mentor, as a teacher, as a friend, as a brother. We will all have our own special memories of the mark left in our lives. And it is very hard for me to be here today, hearing my own thoughts out loud, trying my best to focus on the happiest times that Hassan brought us, other than the fact that he's no longer with us today. Whenever there's a Majlis like we have today, I remember how Hassan would always be part of the advice and planning for it. He'd be the first one here to maybe move a few chairs or tables around. He always had great ideas and saw the world differently. And he wanted to create that vision for others as well. So speaking on behalf of Marhumeen Group feels again very unusual to speak on behalf of Marhumeen, as this role was exclusively reserved for Hassan. Before any Ziyarah trip, he will be the one standing in front of all the Zawar, explaining to them about the trip, how it's going to go, where we'll be going. And he will always be the forefront of Marhumeen. This started in 2008 when Dad was at the office and this plan started to take videos from the Ziyarah. When discussing this plan with Hassan Uncle, Hassan Uncle was always ready and ever ready to support. And that's how it all started, from planning and organizing the Ziyarah trips. As I said, he used to be the voice of Karban and Muntazir. He could be heard whenever we were at the airports and we reached Karbala, Najaf, Al-Main, or when we reached Mashhad al-Qum. I still remember how we used to joke about weight allowances to inform the Zawar of the minimum number of weights that they're allowed to take. He was always the first at the airport in Dar es Salaam when flying out. We were leaving for Iraq or Iran. He was ever ready, everyone's passports and tickets. He would always check himself in last to make sure everybody got a good seat. Sometimes this would backfire because we would get fit if we have empty. But he was always sacrifices. In Ziyarat again, he was always at the front of the group. He was always the first to pass the checkpoints and put the whole group through his persuasion and charisma. For example, in Masjid al-Sahra, he would wait for everyone to finish their namaz, and he would stand there, making sure all is in order. And then only would he proceed to pray his namaz after he was going to maybe do the namaz, when he would quickly pray all his namaz. I will surely miss his aura of protection that he had in the Karban and Muntazir group. Dad and Hassan always have their office as their meeting spot, where he would come sometimes right after praying namaz and join us for lunch, discussing everything from politics to ziyarah to life advice. These lunch meetings were especially exciting on Saturday, when Riyaz Uncle, Moran Akmal, and Jaji Wazir would also be there to attend and stir up the pot even more. There was always some debate or controversy that Hassan would always add some mirch and masala too. But usually he would be the one clarifying the points and ending the debates as per his nature. After Marzia Orphanage was built, these heated Saturday debates then moved to the children's home. I think this was for the better, because as in front of the sweet children, all the grown men would forget their debates and instead watch the children play. On the topic of this orphanage, Hassan was involved from the very start. He was there from the foundation day. He was internal to the design, advice, and sign. His view and advice was more than just where to place the walls or the beds. It was more about creating a whole and the environment for the upbringing of the children. It was amazing to see how Hassan's mind would work when he would speak about his vision and his goals for the wider Jamaats across Africa. And more recently, in his position as the lead chair, his views about Dar es Salaam Jamaat. I recall how he would say there are so many gifted and great minds in our community, specifically in the youth. Throughout his work with Africa Federation, Public, Sheikh Liaison, Quran competitions, social vices, and awareness of drugs and substance abuse, he was the first in this light to bring it to our attention. In his short term as the lead chairman for KSIJ Dar es Salaam, we could already see the fruits of his efforts with all the work and changes he was bringing. He was a friend to everyone, big or small. He was my friend as much as my father's friend. That showed when we were together or over the phone. He was never one to leave someone out. He was always inclusive. Maybe I can call him Hadim of Imam Hussein. That title in itself is more than enough. By leading Ziyarah trips with his brothers in Karban and Muntazir, as well as assisting in Karban and Muntazir, sometimes during the same period, he was tirelessly working for the Zuwar of Imam Hussein. He was a young spirit who accomplished lots in this world craved for more, but alas, Allah wanted him back. Inshallah, we pray he is granted with lofty status in the hereafter. We miss you, Hassan, and we promise to continue your work. Hassan.
Thank you very much, Brother Ali. And there's something that he said, and once Imam Sadiq was asked that who is a youth? So Imam then asked his companions, why don't you tell me who a youth is? So the companions said, maybe someone who's 18 years of age, 20 years of age. Then the Imam said, no, a youth is one who is pious. So Sayyid Hassan may have been an elderly individual, but he had a youthful spirit, as what I got from your address. So thank you very much for that. Now I'd like to request Maulana Akmal and Sheikh Akmal Hussein to come forward and recite the dua. Let us welcome Maulana Akmal with salawat.
मोहतरम सामीन शब जुमा है और हमारा ईमान है और हदीस भी है कि शब जुमा को जब मरहूमीन को याद किया जाता है तो मरहूमीन की अरवाह रूहें जो है वो यहाँ पे याद की जाती है, वहाँ पे तशरीफ लाती है। और मेरा ईमान है कि आज शब जुमा भी है और हम सब ने भाईजान हसन नकवी को याद किया है। मेरा ईमान है जिस तरह हमारे सामने भाईजान की तस्वीर है, इसी तरह भाईजान की रूह यहाँ पे मौजूद है। आए में क्योंकि शब जुमा है और दुआ कुमैल के आखिरी जुमले में आती हूँ और उसके बाद दो जुमले दुआ दूंगा। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम वइलैक या रब्बी नसबतु वजही वइलैक या रब्बी मददतु यदी फबिइज्जतिक अस्तजिब लिदुआई वबल्लिगनी मुनाया वतक़्तअ मिन फضلक रजाई वक़्फ़िनी शर्र الجن والإنس من أعدائي शब जुमा सब मिलके पढ़िए या सरिया या सरिया لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى يرحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وبصلاه البكاء ومري الله तुझे वास्ता हुसैन की मज़लूमियत का। मरहूम हसन नक़वी में तकरीबन 10-15 साल से इसके साथ ज़ियारतों में जा रहा था। वल्लाह जब भी मैंने इसको करबला में देखा, इसकी आंखों में आंसू देखा, जब भी ये गुंबद की तरफ नजर करता था, इसकी आंखों से आंसू जारी हो जाते थे। एक साल ऐसा था, खैमगाह में हम पहुंचे, मुझे कहने लगा अकमल, जब पब्लिक होती थी तो आवाज देते थे मौलाना, जब अकेले में होते थे आवाज देते थे अकमल, क्योंकि मैं उसे भाईजान कहता था। कहा अकमल आज खैमगाह में ऐसे मसाइल पढ़ लो ताकि मैं जी भर के रो सकूं। मैंने जुमले शुरू किए, भाईजान कोशिश जरूर करूंगा। अजीजो खैमगाह काफिला कारवान अल मुंतज़िर को लेके हम जब खैर मकाम में पहुंच गए। इसमें तमाम बीबियां हमारी माँ बहनें बैठी हुई थी। मसाइल पढ़ना मैंने शुरू कर दिया और अल्लाह मकाम में जो मसाइल पढ़ के मरहूम ने आंसू बहाए हैं, उन्हीं आंसुओं के सदक़े में मरहूम की मग़फ़िरत फरमा। जुमले ये थे, मकाम में मेरे मौला हुसैन ने तमाम बीवियों से खुदा हाफ़िज़ी कर ली, लेकिन एक बीवी ऐसी थी जो हुसैन को छोड़ने के लिए तैयार नहीं थी। आप समझ गए वो कौन सी बीवी है, उसका नाम है ज़ैनब। दोनों हाथों को गले में डाल के फरमाती है, भैया हुसैन खेमे से बाहर जाने नहीं। एक दफा मौला हुसैन ने अंगुश्त शहादत से इशारा किया, मालूम नहीं इस इशारे ने क्या कर दिया। वो ज़ैनब जो छोड़ने के लिए तैयार नहीं थी, हाथों को छोड़ के फरमाती है, भैया खुदा हाफ़िज़। हुसैन इब्न अली कहने से बाहर निकल गए, भैया जान आप क्यों यहाँ पे आए होगी? मेरा ईमान है जब ये मैं मसाइल पढ़ूंगा तो सैयदा फातिमा ज़हरा भी इस मजलिस में जरूर आएगी। सैयदा का वादा है जहाँ पे जिक्र हुसैन होगा वहाँ पे मैं जरूर आऊंगी। मुझे मालूम नहीं हाथ को पसलियों में रख के, मुझे मालूम नहीं हाथ को पसलियों में रख के आई होगी, कमर झुकी हुई आई होगी, क्रिया करते हुए आई होगी। आपके आंखों से अगर एक आंसू निकल आए सैयद के लिए आज की रात यही काफी है। मेरे मौला हुसैन तेरे से बाहर निकला है, दाएं देखा कोई नजर नहीं, बाएं देखा कोई नजर नहीं। सैयदा ज़ैनब ने महसूस किया हुसैन को अकबर की याद आ रही है। सैयदा ने एहसास किया अब्बास की कमी महसूस कर रहा है। पहले से बाहर तशरीफ लाए, दुल्हना के लगाम को थामा, आवाज दी आग ज़हरा के लाल दुल्हना में सवार हो जाओ। परवरदिगार हमारी थोड़ी सी इबादत को अपनी दरगाह में कबूल फरमा। मरहूम के गुनाह कबीरा और सगीरा को माफ फरमा। जलाल रहमत में आई हुए मासूमीन के साथ महशूर फरमा। परवरदिगार हमारी इस थोड़ी सी इबादत के सवाब को मरहूम की रूह को परवरदिगार हम अता कर रहे हैं। इस हमारी दुआ से परवरदिगार मरहूम के दर्जात को बुलंद फरमा। आने वाले बलाएं आफतें बीमारियों को इस कौम से दूर फरमा। हम सब को मरने से पहले तौबा करके मरने की तौफीक अता फरमा। सकरात मौत आसान फरमा। इशार कब्र से हमें नजात कब्र में मौला हुसैन की शफाअत नसीब फरमा। महशर के मैदान में मासूमीन की शफाअत नसीब फरमा। और परवरदिगार आका व मौला व साहिब अम्र की हुजूर में ताजील फरमा। मरहूम के भाइयों को, बहनों को, दोस्तों को सब्र अता फरमा। इन्नल्लाह व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लु अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा।
Jazakallah, Ahmad. Thank you very much. And we have come to the end of this program. I just have a few announcements I'd like to make. Number one, I know we have come here and we're all very emotional and we'd like to give our condolences to the Naqvi family. But I urge you all to please make sure you adhere to all the social distancing protocols. Whenever you can, try having a mask on. I understand when you're eating, you don't necessarily need to wear your mask, but try your level best to have your mask on. And let us adhere to social distancing as well. No handshakes, no hugging, inshallah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Secondly, subsequent to the Ziyarat Waritha, niyaz will be served on your table. So after the recitation of Ziyarat-e-Walid, which will be recited by Syed Muhammad Naqvi, I request you all to remain on your table, to be seated, and inshallah, niyaz will be served. My dear brothers and sisters, I thank you all for attending tonight and joining us in remembering Sayyid Hassan's life. Death is never a happy ending. It always leaves us behind with broken hearts and grief. But it gives us solace that Sayyid Hassan has returned to his Lord, and inshallah we pray that he is with the chosen ones in Akhirah, inshallah. It hurts to say goodbye and bid farewell to the one that you love the most. And it's been 7 months, yet it feels like it's yesterday. I personally still don't believe that Sayyid Hassan isn't with us anymore. But as I said earlier, perhaps his physical presence isn't amongst us, but his spiritual presence will forever live on. And Sayyid Hassan may have departed this world, but his legacy lives on. And now it is a responsibility upon all of us. It is our duty to continue some of the initiatives that he started pertaining to service, the Quran drive, and his dynamic leadership. Now I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Sayyid Muhammad Naqvi for the recitation of Ziyarat-e-Walida, and I request you all to please stand up for the salutations towards Imam.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله. السلام عليك يا وارث نوح النبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كريم الله. السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام ولي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا ثار الله المثالي والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلت ولعن الله أمة ظلمت ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضت. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من مدلهمات ثيابها. وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين. وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي. وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وأعلام الهدى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا. وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن وبإيادكم موقن بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلت، ولعن الله أمة ظلمت، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه. السلام عليكم يا أصفياء الله وأبداءه. السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله. السلام عليكم يا أنصار رسول الله. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي الولي الناصح. السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله بأبي أنتم وأمي. طبتم وطابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم وفزتم فوزا عظيما، فيا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن السيد الوصي. السلام عليك يا ابن أول القوم إسلاما وأقدمهم إيمانا وأقومهم بدين الله وأحوطهم على الإسلام. أشهد لقد نصحت لله ولرسوله ولأخيك فنعم الأخ المواسي. فلعن الله أمة قتلت، ولعن الله أمة ظلمت، ولعن الله أمة استحلت منك المحارم وانتهكت حرمة الإسلام. فنعم الصابر المجاهد المحامي الناصر والأخ الدافع عن أخيه المجيب إلى طاعة ربه الراغب فيما زهد فيه غيره من الثواب الجزيل والثناء الجميل. وألحقك الله بدرجة آبائك في جنات النعيم. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. وعلى 9 المعصومين من ذريته علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا حجة الله يا ابن الحسن يا صاحب الأمر والعصر والسماء. سيدي متى ترانا ونراك؟ عجل الله لك ما وعدك من النصر وظهور الآن ورحمة الله وبركاته. يا الله 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 يا رحمن يا الله يا رحيم يا الله يا كريم يا الله يا حليم يا الله يا جواد يا الله يا الله يا الله. إلهي بحق الزهراء وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها، اللهم ادخل على أهل القبور السرور. اللهم أغن كل فقير. اللهم اشفع كل جائع. اللهم اكس كل عريان. اللهم اقض دين كل مدين. اللهم فرج عن كل مكروه. اللهم رد كل غريب. اللهم فك كل أسير. اللهم أصلح كل فاسد من أمور المسلمين. اللهم اشف كل مريض. اللهم سد فقرنا بغنى. اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك. اللهم اقض عنا الدين وأغننا من الفقر إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم